There I am. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. This is not an April Fool's because it's not on April 1st, but welcome to the show. And today we're going to be talking about workflow. And there's a lot going on. NAB is coming up, a lot of exciting things. Everybody's putting out news releases with regards to NAB. And I think BirdDog, if you have followed BirdDog through the past year, you know that we have a very solid line of products all the way across. And now it's talking about how you can make them all work together. That's why we're talking about workflow today. So as I always say, welcome to everyone to the show. And if you're watching the show, hey, let us know where you're watching from. Put that in the comments. And this is a live show. You are here, we are here, and we're doing this live so that you can not only ask questions during the show, let us know where you're talking from, tell us what BirdDog questions do you have about a particular product, about a software update, about a feature, about Connect and things like that. And also one of the other very important things that we've got going on during the live show is we've got this giveaway. We're giving away MultiView Pro. So all you have to do is go to bit.ly/BD entry for BirdDog entry. See how that works? Or you can use your phone. If you're watching this on a laptop or a computer, you can use your phone, scan this QR code, and that will take you to an entry form. The entry form, you fill out your name, your email, fill out your email again in case you typed it in wrong. And then there's a couple of other questions like what BirdDog products do you have? And what BirdDog products would you like to see? This is really important because, NAB is coming up, and BirdDog is always looking to branch out into, new areas that don't have, products and put something there because that's the best type of product is where there's no competition. So put that information into the entry form that you can fill out. And at the end of this show, the live show, if you're watching this on like tape delay or, later, you can't enter to win. The form will be closed. So put your entry in to win a BirdDog MultiView Pro license right there. We do have a couple of people chiming in already. Let's see if I can find my cursor. Let's go back to me. And we've got Andrea saying hello from Greece. Good to see you there. And Jartukainen from Finland. And so thank you both for chiming in where you're watching from. I know we've got viewers around the world, so feel free to throw in at any time where you're watching from, and we'd be glad to put that up on the screen. Without further ado, I want to bring in my special guest today. Levent is going to be talking to us about the many different ways you can integrate the BirdDog technologies into your workflow. So without further ado, Levent, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And, I think one of the big products that a lot of people are integrating, I've got all of these products behind me, and let me just reach over here and get this one. And look at that. It was the magic. This little thing has been a hit just because people who need just that one little extra camera, this thing is that one little extra camera, but it's full featured, is the fact that you've got the tally, you got the full HDMI, the really long battery life, optical zoom, super fast focus, and hey, I even have it set up where I'm controlling it on my phone. So I think there's a lot of products out there in the entire BirdDog ecosystem that people can put together and really augment what they have or build completely new workflows.
Definitely, and I think the Monkey Life is a great example for like the way you can actually integrate BirdDog products into a lot of different workflows. Since you mentioned the battery life, the camera is for sure not limited to that. So you can go like on a traditional way with a full-size HDMI video output. We have a USB-C connection, which enables you to do a lot of different things based on your personal requirements. So either you go for UVC, webcam-based style integration, or you just use a PoE adapter for a more permanent install or more robust cable-based connection. You can record on the SD card. And we have multiple protocols on that. So everything just baked into such a small product amazes a lot of people. And even then actually seeing the image quality coming out of that, it's like just like the cherry of the cake, of the icing. So people love that.
Yeah, there was a video that came out from ISE on the show floor, walking around and everything. And then at the end, they're like, "Oh yeah, that was all recorded on here,
Yeah,
not a DSLR, not a high, not like this multi-thousand-dollar system. It's just this little camera walking around the show floor, and it's like it looks that good."
it really does. Yeah.
And let's get talking about this. The Oh wait, I'm on the wrong slide. Let me go back a couple slides. This is the pre-show. We were walking through the things. So thank you for being here. And it's been 10 years. It's hard to believe it's been 10 years of
Yeah.
BirdDog, and but there's been so much that has happened in terms of just not just NDI, but these days it's SRT, it's RTMP, it's all these IP protocols. And today, all of the hardware today kind of handles all of that, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think one aspect of this beautiful time, like from 10 years back then, being like the underdog entering the business, was like to enable people with new technology and make the production life easier and add things to like from a different perspective. So actually, we started with the converters, like with the studio converter, which is like kind of really like an iconic product right now. And then we expanded those things to cameras and become the now company for like the NDI PTZ camera, like with full NDI, high bandwidth, and matching broadcast standards. Today we're in a situation where we have really like involved and like have like this whole lineup of like converters, software applications, camera solutions, services like the Connect platform, and doing so much more like to actually have a thriving ecosystem. But at the same time, we are not like trying to close people into this like ecosystem as a habitat, but offering solutions which can live in different ecosystems and just adapt and being like a pipeline product with different scenarios within different scenarios. And I think that the testimony to that is like the wide range of products we have for different specific use cases, but still overlapping into many others as well. And from, as you just showed us, like the Mackie Live to the Max camera, even up to the XL and 04, which is just enabling you to do so much more with traditional cameras, while we're looking always to the customer feedback. So what is it what people are actually looking for? What's the desire? What's the pain points? And then try to do things different in a BirdDog way.
Yeah, and I know BirdDog when the first products came out like that, the camera, converter, it
Yeah.
was, the idea was broadcast, and the idea was full NDI. And nowadays we're finding that there's corporate adoption, there's industrial adoption, churches, sports, and everything like that. The people who are producing content at this high level is not just broadcast. It's not just limited to broadcast anymore.
Definitely. And I also think it's important to say that people are looking for solving problems. So, and then solving problems in a way they actually can handle it, because not everybody is a broadcast engineer. So maybe they're looking like for the ease of integration of a software-based product, and
Yeah.
being able to like offer solutions for both kind of customers and different verticals and markets is like a great value of the BirdDog brand. So we can go with the XL into any broadcast studio environment and offering all the checkboxes somebody would look into an integration of an XL. But at the same time, we have a house of worship customer who just says like, I need like an easy to use product which I can integrate in the church with monitoring, etc. That's also possible, and that can be done like from a software-based solution up to like a high integration and high density frames like an open gear rack with OG4 cards.
Right.
So offering everything what's necessary to have to solve the problem.
Yeah, and I think this is we're finding a lot of adoption from groups and organizations that already have a built-out system, and they're looking to add to it, like you said, to augment what they already have. And it's sort of like, if we could just have one more camera, kind of like over there, and it's like, oh, well, I could just kind of just put this in that corner. I could use this as a prompter camera. Or in boardrooms, the little Max camera kind of just lets it just drop in there and handle those type of situations very easily. You don't have to think about, I have to get this big chunky broadcast camera with the super long lens for our tiny little corporate boardroom. It's being able to integrate in all different kinds of spaces.
Exactly. And you also like don't have like the need to like take everything out of your installation which you already have. Like for instance, if you're working on the QSys or Crestron media control, and you just want to like update your installation with more modern cameras and like better image quality, that's possible. We support those kinds of integration. We do have the API controls, and we work with the industry standards, even like up down to the like Stream Deck, BitFocus, companion implementations. So you can do whatever you really like want to achieve your personal goal, and you need how to integrate the product in a specific setup and not being tied to a specific brand.
Now, we're down at the bottom of this slide. It says BirdDog is at booth N1459, which is the North Hall, booth 1459. I'm curious, to ask the viewers, how many out there are going to be at NAB? Feel free to throw that in the comments. You can go check out all the BirdDog products, as well as, I'm told, Dan was mentioning he's looking at ways to, do integrations in the booth so that you can, like, I'll stand over here and maybe you've got, the switcher set up, and then be able to control a bunch of different cameras in the booth and switch between them. So they're looking at really building it out and letting people come in to play with them, learn about them from hands-on experience, not just sort of like, there it is behind glass, look, it's just sitting there. It doesn't really tell you as much as being able to actually like use it.
Yeah, and we like even go like a step further. Like we have a great network of partners across like the globe, where we actually also supply a lot of chances to give people like a proof of concept, the chance to interact with the products and test equipment out for their own purpose. So they have like a really like real-time experience, like how it is to work with the product and understand the benefits of having it. Just like not limiting it to its main purpose being just a camera or just a converter, but see like how it actually integrates to each other and what additional features it offers when you're just like trying to play around with, oh, actually I can do this, and this adds another like aspect to my format, and I can even develop further and gives me more options to do something maybe I haven't thought of before.
Right. Like especially like the new flight path control. That's something you really have to like play with to really understand, like, oh wait, I can just put this, this move, on a button. And then, oh, let's do that move again. Let's do that move again. Let's do that move again. It's just really cool. For those who have joined late, I'm going to mention again, we are giving away BirdDog Multiview Pro. We have entries already. I'm looking over at the thing I have right next to me. We have BirdDog Multiview Pro. All you have to do is go to bit.ly, BD entry. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible to remember. You could do that if you only have one device, but if you're watching this on a laptop and you got a cell phone, point your cell phone at the QR code and then fill out the form, and you will be entered to win the Multiview Pro that we are giving away at the end of this very show. If you're watching this later on a tape delay, don't bother entering. We did get a question or a comment coming in. I'll be at NAB presenting a paper at the Broadcast Engineering Conference, which features BirdDog products. And yes, I mean, we're not to say that broadcast BirdDog has moved away from broadcast. In fact, some of the new, high-end camera with two cameras in it is definitely, it's doubling down on, as they say, on broadcast, in that you've got a wide shot and a close shot in one camera, making it easier to like set up a studio with these cameras, and each one can do double duty now, as well as being able to take the feed coming back and provide a program feed so that the people in front of the camera can see, or prompter feed, or the remote guest feature and things like that. There's lots of functionality in these for broadcast or anyone else.
Yeah, I would actually even go so far and would say like we actually take broadcast and bring it to a wider audience, like having like the broadcast quality standards always in mind, because that's where we came from, and enabling people from the Pro AV part of the industry to get those kind of image quality and robust workflows, and then like add in like the specific requirements they have on video over IP. I'm specifically talking about video over IP because it's not limited to a specific protocol. To that standard, like, and developing opportunities gives us the chance to do more than just NDI. Of course, this is something we knew from our core, and we do like, I think, the best integration of NDI possible in the market. But we add to that, of course, the standards like RTMP, SRT, and we could do like so much more if there's like necessary to do it, if there's a need. we can go all routes, and we do have SDI, we have fiber, we have HDMI, we have UVC. There's no limit to the product. We're just trying to enable to give as many people as possible the access to those kind of great products.
That's right. We had a couple more people chime in. We have, I got you from Finland, and then I have Fritz Goldman from Chicago. So definitely, definitely let me know if you're chiming in, where you are, where is everyone watching from, and if you have any specific BirdDog questions, throw them into the comments as well. Continuing along, we're going to, we'll be at NAB. If you are at NAB, come and check them out. But one of the things that BirdDog is, I guess, almost famous for is the fact that after the sale of the product, the support continues to come.
Yeah.
To the point where I have a P200, which was, 9 years old, 8 years old. The P200 is, one of the big cameras for BirdDog, and it has the long optical zoom. It's full NDI. It's been around forever. And then with the Silicon 2 update for these older cameras, it's now able to do HX. And it's sort of like breathing new life into the old hardware. And the BirdDog doesn't charge for these updates or anything like that.
That's what saying, like, you can't teach the old dog new tricks. Now we just do it every time over and over again. So especially like if you look into the 4K converter series, it's a great example. So when they initially launched, they were like single channel encoders or decoders, whatever you want to give them as a purpose. And then now we have dual channel options, and we added in that you also have now HX, and there's coming more and more, and it's like just keep up giving. And I think we're at the pace operating right now where we actually have the feeling sometimes if you blink, you miss something. So it constantly updates on cameras, features. And one reason for that is actually that we really try to listen to our customer base. And I always kind of say like it's kind also like of a fan service. So we appreciate our customers working with our products, giving us feedbacks, making us understand how it actually performs in different kinds of scenarios, which we maybe haven't thought of, and people want to integrate it in a different way. So this is really awesome to see, like the interaction between us and our customer base, and we try our best to put that back into the products. Yeah.
And just talking about this, adding HX, this is something that has been asked for, I think, in every single show that I've been doing for the past year is, can we get HX in the quad? And it's basically saying now, it's available as a beta in the Facebook user group. You can go in and ask for it and put the HX codec on your quad. And this product has a lot of capability that was never on the product brochure, but yet has been added later and after the fact. And I think there's a lot of quad users are going to be very, very happy with the ability to do HX on the quad. And one of the key things I think is important is that HX now is not a lower end codec. When NDI first started, there was full NDI and then there was HX, and HX was kind of a compromise. It was slower, it was not as high quality and everything, and full NDI was what you would use if you wanted the highest quality. In that time, codecs have gotten better, compression has gotten better, chips have gotten faster, and now I was able to test the new X1 against the P200, and the HX was actually faster than full NDI from the 200. So it's no longer, if you want it to be fast, you have to use full NDI. Or if you want high quality, you have to use full NDI. The HX is really delivering the high quality, the fast speeds, and lower bit rates. All three. It's a win-win-win, really.
Yeah. And actually that was like the point when we started the new X1 series, or generally speaking, the X series, with introducing the new formats with HX2 and 3, that we really take this serious, like coming from high bandwidth NDI and like having this high standard NDI implementation in our products in the past. Of course, we wanted to make sure that this is not like something as a downgrade, because we just use the technology in a way where all the products are certified in the HX codecs, and we really take care of that the user experience is the best as possible and really tailor-made for the target audience, while still be looking at those higher recommendations people have in the broadcast business with the XL and the O4, understanding there is like at some point a reason to use like the high bandwidth NDI. And if we see that, we actually implement that. So it's not like we're saying, oh, we're moving away completely from a high bandwidth application workflows. No, we're just offering that for the right product, for the right target audience, and make them choose whatever codec, what type of protocol or connection they actually want to implement in their certain setups.
Right, and it also, like, there's two reasons I can definitely see is, like, if you are in an existing institution and you can't go and change the bandwidth of all of the hardware, HX allows you to add cameras without totally saturating the network, whereas full NDI, especially at 4K, is going to really add up quickly. And if all you have is a gigabit switch, you're really not going to put four 4K cameras on on that network. The other option is people, smaller organizations, churches, and independent producers. There's small hardware switchers that add NDI, but they only add HX. So maybe it's a small switcher that has one channel of NDI. Well, that's only going to be HX. It's not going to be full NDI. So then this lets you use a big, high quality camera, but output the HX that hardware is going to use.
I mean, funny though, even if you only want to put that in a space where we look just at the Marquee Live, talking about bandwidth. So even if you don't have any network at all, the Marquee Live could even perform as an access point, giving you like connection up to 3 cameras and then into your Marquee Studio application, and work on that without even like entering any network which is like around you, just like being on your isolated little island and do your production. So it's crazy what we can actually do there, like from 12G SDI up to the Wi-Fi connectivities.
Now, you mentioned network. We got a question coming in. I have the Marquee Studio. Dun, 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 dun. I have 2 Marquee Lives, but want to add a wireless PTZ camera, which BirdDog has, was it 2 of them? 2 different models?
Yeah.
And do all Wi-Fi 6 enable PTZ cameras wirelessly connect to the Marquee Studio? And if so, what is the best option? In my experience, you need to have a really good Wi-Fi network. And that is a key. And you're going to need to test this to make sure it works both to handle, if it's just one camera, you're not really taxing the network. It's when you add 2 and 3 cameras that it becomes a little bit more of a challenge, but also at the distances that you want to work at, because what my one rule as a producer is you never trust the facility to be providing the Wi-Fi that you're going to use, just as I wouldn't expect them to provide my HDMI cables. If the Wi-Fi is my connectivity, then I'm bringing my own Wi-Fi that I have tested and made sure it works. And I put it up nice and high so that I have direct line of sight between my iPad for the Marquee Studio and the wireless camera. And that way they're all on the same local area network and can communicate easily.
Yeah, one way would be also like to use like some kind of like dedicated access point router, which you then can uplink to your iPad with like a USB dongle or like a docking station to, like, if you want to make sure that you have like the best possible bandwidth, getting like all the signals on the Wi-Fi setup and then just bring it over to the production side on your studio. That could be also something to be considered.
Yes. Peter Molman says, greetings from Germany. We also use the P200 and think about upgrading. We still think, it didn't answer. I was thinking there might be a second post or a second comment that would finish this, but as someone who has upgraded my P200, definitely worth it. Now I still have full, it's not like you get rid of full NDI. You now have the ability to do HX as well. And so it's just adding more capability. It's refining what is inside the code that's inside of the camera to make it more efficient and able to do these additional things.
So there's another thing which you can do. Like some people want to rely still on the high bandwidth implementation because they use maybe vMix, which is like lower on the resources, getting like full NDI bandwidth controls. Actually talking about like workflow and integration again, having a 4K converter which can do both can be again like being this bridging device, getting full NDI and HX sources, and then just transcode that to the format you need. So you can even like consider like if you want to upgrade into like the new generation of cameras, that will not like break your workflow, because we still have like those converters which can give you a device which is able to handle both type of sources, and then maybe like use as a glue or bridge device in between.
Definitely. Brandon's asked, any updates on the Mach-E Studio Control Surface being able to be used on Mac OS?
Not that I'm aware of. Like technically, of course, it's based on a similar chipset like the Apple Silicon. But for now, I think we are like sticking with the iPad designer, the iPad
The
OS.
iOS. Yeah, and it's very interesting. It's Apple itself has kind of confused the market because they have the same M chip on iOS and the same chip on the laptops, but it's the operating system that's different, and everything has to be redone for the operating system. So that makes it a challenge. And now they have a laptop based on an A series chip from a phone. It just confuses everything. Robert asks, we have a single P200 sending a full NDI signal to 6 BirdDog plays to different screens around our church. Yes, that is one of the things that I've always loved about NDI, is the fact that, I don't know if you're using multicasting. That would be a great use case for multicasting, because you can, if you're sending one camera to 6 destinations, that could technically be 6 feeds, or it could be 1 feed with multicast. So different ways to do NDI itself.
And again, it's a great example like for workflow and integration based on our products, because the cameras goes hand in hand with a decoder, which is like easy to install, easy to deploy, and get like the sources across like an installation. And talking about like host of worship, we also have like customers who are saying like even like a PTZ controller, sometimes like too much, not like from the budget, but like from handling. People just want like easy operating tools. So that said, we look into like the options we are giving people, from a physical KBD controller with monitoring option on them, up to PTZ controls on an iPad or iPhone with like NDI based applications, which enables you to control visual any camera from us. Even like free of charge application for Windows devices, where you have like multiple cameras in a row to control. So we leave it up to the customer to decide what kind of control mechanism and requirement he has.
Well, I can't see it because it's just reflecting blue, but the BirdDog PTZ app.
And at the same time supporting also like beside NDI, there's Whisker commands as well. So it could be also like any third-party device like a Scarhoy controller. So
Visca and I believe ONVIF as well.
Yeah, on with, yes, for sure. Like on all Decentives installations with microphone solutions, they can also like attach to the OnWith protocol.
So there's lots of different functionality and capability. It's sort of like being refined over and over again. It's like, how else can we connect this? What else can these camera output? What else do end users need from the product we already have, and what can we build into it to make it easy?
Yeah. Another example, the X1 with the decoding function, which we also have in the X5. So for instance, it's just about like enabling people. You're looking at the camera and has like a unique feature, which I haven't seen in any other product. You're just utilizing the HDMI output on the camera as a decoding element. So you can just then, instead of having a play, maybe just like go on a projector and then beam that on the wall. You have like the video output coming from somewhere else. This is like enabling a lot of people like think about different kind of workflows, specifically on conference spaces and lecture rooms, etc.
We had a follow-up on that Mach-E Live. From what I'm understanding, the Mach-E Live isn't powerful enough to be an access point for the X1 or X4. I think technically it could be, because you're only adding one extra camera. But remember, this is not a Wi-Fi access point. There's no antennas sticking out of this. So it's not going to reach as far as a Wi-Fi access point that would be more powerful. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's like, you have to look at it as like how it's like designed on purpose to have like multiple Mach-E Live cameras around you, like for like an additional perspective, a different shot. So all cameras there will be like close to each other anyway. And the application which comes with the camera, the Mach-E Live, is designed to add multiple Mach-E Lives cameras, so you can control and configure multiple Mach-E Lives within the application, not an additional X1 or X4. So that's not the main purpose in the design of the product. So it's definitely go like for some dedicated Wi-Fi router access point, Nighthawk style thing, so you can like connect that.
Yeah, and I've done testing in my own office. I use NDI. I am very big on NDI. I've been all in on NDI for many years, since the last decade. And I was surprised to find, like in the office here, I have an Eero Pro, EERO Pro 6, and it has it has the 6 gigahertz. It's a very high end thing. But if I try to push two NDI cameras through it, I can't get a reliable frame rate. So then I went out and I bought this monster, an Asus Republic of Gamers, and this will handle, I think I've had 5 cameras going through it with no problem. So, not all routers are created equal.
Yeah.
And definitely something with external antennas like this is going to reach a lot further, more reliably than the built-in antennas on here. So that is, just par for the course, depending upon your situation. If they're right next to each other, like if this thing is getting the wide shot and you want to get a second camera to get a close shot and look around, you're probably, distance is not an issue for you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is there any upgrade for Macs? Sometimes in NDI video, the image stops or freezes. P100 is some in a web browser with other newer cameras, but is missing color temp for balance. So I'm waiting for upgrades to the bigger models. And I think Dan has said that the advanced color controls are being rolled out across the line. And, that is something that, is understood, that people need to match cameras. So if there's that color tool, I forget the name of the app, that lets you match the cameras side by side, and that's a really helpful tool.
Yeah, I think like there's a lot of like firmware updates to come, and again, we're like serving a lot of customer requests, and we're trying our best to fulfill that. Sometimes we run into like a situation where people just assume and expect things to be happening. So I wish it would be that easy, but we do our best to fulfill like all feature requests and make it reasonable in the time frame. Just look out for NAB and the close future, what we have there to come.
And I think one of the key things is that, BirdDog does have a huge broadcast background.
Yeah.
And in broadcast, you don't roll out anything until it's done, or mostly, it's like mostly done. Like, this is why I brought this slide back up, because now, people have been asking about the Quad HX. Dan says it's in progress, it's being tested, it's being refined. It's, we don't want to throw it out there and then people get frustrated because it's not doing this little that, or these various things. So we're testing it, and now it's available in beta, in the early access, in the Facebook group. You can request it, so that way, we're, again, it's not fully available yet, it's not downloadable from the website directly, but we do want people to get out there and test it further, to push it a little bit harder, to make sure that all the I's are dotted and all the T's are crossed.
For sure, and it also helps, of course, like to like polish the product in a way when they're actually in the field. We understand where could be maybe some like problems which we see in advance and fix that, so people have time to develop on and test and spec in the product in the final setup. Another thing maybe like to point out is like with the Quad getting HX, this is also in the blueprint for the OG4, because it's mainly based on the same platform. So if other people are looking for more like installing a Quad or a Quad-like solution like the OG4 in a high-density rack, this is just like a sneak preview to be like what's also coming to OG4.
Right. And we have one more slide here. So we're talking about all these additional things that are available to end users, including free BirdDog Connect. So, Connect used to be just a paid option, but now there is a smaller free option, so you can get in there and start trying it out. See, get a taste for what it can do without, paying for anything. And that way, if you see that this is going to be really useful to you, then you can say, okay, we need to step up on this.
Yeah, and the great thing about like Connect is it's not only the application. You can install on multiple platforms like macOS, Windows, and Linux. It's also getting like a central part of the hardware products we have, like getting integration to the cameras, the converters, like the Play has it, and enables people like to do so much more in a different way, from remote workflow to just monitoring and different things. in addition to that, we're not limiting again the customers to one specific type of installation or integration. So there's also like the Iris plugin we have on the camera, for instance. We're giving people like the opportunity to understand the benefit of having something like New Blue's Captivate, where you get like really professional overlay graphic templates for certain applications. For people who like just wanting to utilize, we had the question about macOS. So if they say like, yeah, we like the studio application, it's like awesome and portable, but it would be great to have something on a macOS machine running. That could be like the Mimo Live bundle. Like if you like have the benefit of trying out 6 months for free, or like a vMix kind of production environment, just like for Mac. So if people are missing out on that and saying, oh, I'm looking into something which can offer the same kind of feature set, I would highly recommend looking into the Mimo Live product. It's out there for years and it's a really powerful tool as well. It gives you like just another option to work on a different kind of setup. And I think that's all about that. There are so much more and so many more different software vendors looking to our products and understand the benefit not only of the hardware design, but also like on the general approach, how you got interact with those products and what features they offer you, from 3D to quick autofocus features, connectivity wise, being able to have like an optical low pass filter with little studio environments, software vendors you're looking into also like multi-camera synchronization, etc., etc. So there's like this like really great opportunity there to understand right now what BirdDog offers, not just only for the end user, but for a lot of verticals who understand to use the overall benefits of really great price performance and really like up-to-date product lineup, which offers you more than just like the basic things people are used to, and seeing things from a different perspective. Literally, for instance, with the XL, having the secondary camera, supporting them on one side with advanced tracking options, but at the other side, people are understanding, oh, this really gives me like even the chance to have a secondary camera and just use it as like an additional input, not really for the tracking, but like creating a different atmosphere, a different angle to the production, and see it more from a creative perspective, up to the 04 for different kinds of scenarios.
Absolutely. And one of the things I wanted to actually touch on, a couple people have asked us to that color matching tool. So I went and dug it up on the website. And if you don't already know, Cam Control is this tool, and it's 100% free. So it lets you put 4 cameras across the screen at the same time. And this is useful because you're able to see them on the same screen at the same time, as opposed to like one's on one screen, one's on another screen, but are those 2 screens matching? This lets you put them all on the same screen at the same time. So if you're trying to color match 2 cameras, Cam Control is going to be the tool, and it's 100% free. This is another thing that BirdDog is making available to end users to make the most of all your tools. I wanted to put that in the show because it's actually been answered on YouTube as well, but I want to put it in the show as well. Can you confirm with the new Play devices, does it output audio to both the HDMI and the 3.5 millimeter at the same time, or do I need to choose one?
Oh, both at the same time, I would say. But I hope that's right. I think so. I haven't tried it, to be honest, both at the same time, but I would say yes.
This is Stump the Guest show. And I think that one might have actually stumped the guest. Don't know it offhand. Not that one. I want to go to this one. Let me bring it back on. Just one more time. We're kind of getting near the end of the show, but if you want to enter to win, go to bit.ly/BDentry. It's a capital B, capital D /entry. Or you can use your phone, point it at the QR code, and go to the entry form, fill out your name, email. Tell us what products you love. Tell us what products you would like to love if BirdDog made them.
Or maybe even like which products you would love to see in a specific setup, like environment where you want to integrate that and you didn't know if you can do this. That would be also like interesting to understand.
Yeah, that's an opportunity for you to talk to the BirdDog people. Let us bring up another question. Can I use the Mach-E Live mixer license in more than one PC? Well, the Mach-E Live mixer license is on an iPad. Can I install it on Mac Mini? No. MacBook? No. iPad? Yes. Use this as the workflow will be. I mean, in some work, I need MacBook, and it's an iPad license.
Yes, and it's tied to the actual control surface, so you can go from with the control surface from iPad to iPad and activate the software that's connecting both.
Yes, and then the other side of that is it's tied to the control surface, so you can't run it on two computers or two iPads at the same time. So that's one of the little caveats with that. Has New Blue given a rough release for the Captivate for the Mach-E Live Studio?
It should be anytime soon.
And Christian Fink, thank you, Christian, chimed in there and said, Cam Control software will allow you to have 4 cameras side by side and adjust all the camera settings while seeing each camera feed individually at the same time. So yes, that is the, one of the great tools that's out there for color matching the BirdDog cameras, because you're able to dig into all of the color controls of each of those cameras while seeing them. And if you have one of those nice widescreen displays, those wraparound displays, that'd be even better. I think that is the last slide in our presentation. Yeah, just making it easier. And one of the key things is the fact that each of these tools, like this is not an NDI camera. I mean, it is, but it's also not. You can get this and not use NDI, just use the USB-C, just use the HDMI, just use the SRT. There's lots of different functionality in these cameras. So while BirdDog came out and initially was the NDI camera solutions provider, back in, 16, I think it was. And that is how it started. That is the basis that has grown into a lot more functionality across the entire product line. It's if you don't want to use NDI on these cameras, you don't have to. You can control them via Visca. How do you even say that? You can control them via Visca and use them, on SDI and HDMI.
Yeah.
It's completely up to the end user how they want to deploy these cameras.
And I really love this interaction with the customers and understand what they actually done then with the product. If you look into this, for instance, if you also look at the KBD controller, which is of course designed the way to operate best with our products. At the same time, if you have legacy equipment like all the cameras from different manufacturers, the KBD itself supports all the standards from Visca, Palco, OnWith. It can even get an RTSP feed into the display. So if you're not working around NDI, there's still a benefit of having this controller with you and in a setup with a mixed environment. So also with the Atom integration, we have it's so simple little tools, but adds so much more to people who are actually invested already in a lot of vision mixers and may not really fully adapted to the IP workflow, but they still want to use tele information on the PTZ cameras. We know updated the camera to do so. So it's really easy to integrate just by connecting both devices into the same network, giving the IP address and assigning it to input. And voila, you have the tele information coming from your vision mixer, from Magic's Atom solutions. So there's a lot of little things like this, which makes it just great to work with the product and people just trying to get their own idea about what's best for their installation. And it's a great feeling that you 99% of the time can say, yes, we can do that, or yes, we can support you on doing it actually. Just feels like a great time having this awesome portfolio on classic devices we have, from the converters up to the cameras, and then the companion application and services we can offer to our customer base. Just looking forward to this time. NAB will be also great with a lot of announcements around software releases and updates and what we can actually do to make it more understandable for people what the opportunities are there with our products.
And if anybody's going to NAB, definitely you can swing by the BirdDog booth in the North Hall and check out the hardware in person, play with it, talk to the experts and, talk about your workflow and find out what product might work best for you. It's oh, well, we're not using NDI, we're using this. Like you said, will the keyboard KBD still work for me? Yes, it will. And that is the magic of going to these shows, is being able to talk to the people who know the product the best at all the booths. But definitely go check out the BirdDog booth in the North Hall at NAB. Well, Levent, let me thank you very much for your time today. I really appreciate you being here, helping me walk through these workflows of all the different BirdDog products, talk about some of the advancements and some of the free tools that are out there as well for end users to be able to pick up and use in their productions.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. Also, thanks a lot for the questions in the audience. Great to see you guys next time.
Thank you very much. So let me put this up here one more time. If you haven't already signed up, you go to bit.ly/BD entry, capital B, capital D entry, or use your phone to scan the little QR code over here. I'm going to move my mouse over to my second screen. We have a few entries already. I'm just looking through the names because there was one week that somebody entered twice, and I'm just making sure nobody's doing that. But I'm also stalling to give anybody who came in at the very end of the show an opportunity to try and get through that form as well. And this is a regular series of shows. I'm sure our next show will probably be very focused on NAB announcements. And I will look forward to bringing all of that to you in our next show. But let us go through this giveaway now. Here are the names that entered. Not that many people entered. I'm really surprised. Copy. I'm going to copy those names. I'm going to go to the wheel of names. I'm going to copy that off. I'm going to paste the names in, and I'm doing this all of this in front of you so you can see it happen. Yeah, I'm not randomly picking something in secret. And then I'm going to put my cursor in the middle here, and I'm going to click to spin, and I'm going to take my hands off of the computer, and it's going to pick Jarno Fabritas. Jarno Fabritas. I hope I said that right. Congratulations, you are the winner for this show. And thank you to everyone who entered. Thank you to everyone who commented. And I just appreciate all of you every single show. And I will look forward to seeing you all next time. Thanks for watching. I'm just going to make sure get my cursor on the correct screen. Take care.